And now to the latest on the pandemic and the Biden administration's vaccine mandates that it now turns out could cause holiday chaos for travelers. United Airlines is in the process of firing hundreds of employees who are refusing to comply with the mandate to get vaccinated. Pilots unions for American and Southwest, they're asking the White House for exemptions for their pilots to the president's vaccine mandate, warning this could trigger a holiday travel nightmare. So for more than this,
work. Starting January 4th, the Biden administration will mandate vaccines for private companies with 100 or more workers, or else they could face thousands of dollars in fines.
And the reality is that this pandemic is not going away.
Mitchell Hamlin labor law expert David Larson says Biden is relying on a statute that gives OSHA the power to intervene in the case of great danger.
We can act immediately to create different kinds of regulations to protect workers. So that's where that authority is coming from.
80% of American adults.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. U.S. sets January 4th VD for big private employers. Let me read that again. U.S. sets January 4th VD for big private employers. The new guidance will cover 84 million workers who will be required to be fully jabbed or be tested weekly. This is the New York Times, and I'm going to read a little bit of it, and we're going to get a couple of scriptures, a couple of verses, and we're going to go from there. The Biden administration on Thursday set January 4th as the deadline for large companies to mandate CVV, or start weekly testing of their workers. The government's biggest effort yet to enlist private business in combating the disease. The new rule applying to companies with 100 or more employees is expected to cover 84 million workers, roughly 31 million of whom are unjabbed. It lays out details of a plan President Biden announced in September, invoking emergency powers over workplace safety. Now let's get a couple of scriptures that's talking about this, and let's take it from there. All right, we're just going to go ahead and start out and get straight to the point. This is St.Matthew24, verse 20, and it reads, "But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day." And as you can see, I was trying to show you in those couple of clips that I put on here that lining up with this mandate, there's going to be a lot of shortage of pilots come January 4th and probably going forth, because a lot of them aren't going to be so willing to take that jab. And depending on your status and where you at, pray ye that your flight don't be in the wintertime, because you may be stuck wherever you at for who knows how long. You know, so this is things you got to take into consideration. Pray that your flight don't be in the wintertime, and that's right around January 4th going forward, because you could be stuck for who knows how long wherever you at. Getting back to wherever you need to go may be a task in itself, you know? So if you haven't left, or you don't need to take a flight, don't take a flight, because it could be a shortage of pilots who won't be able to fly you back home. And depending on your, your status, whether you need work or whatever, but, when that day comes, put your trust in Yahweh. Man, he gonna guide your way. But it says, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. And we know that's sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, but also they Sabbaths, what they believe to be Sabbaths, they holidays. And this is the biggest time of the year for the heathen and they Sabbaths, because they celebrate what? Thanksgiving, November, Christmas, December, and New Year's, January. So that's all culminating to right around this mandate. So if you out there stuck in these other cities because you don't want to follow and obey the commandments, which it tells you don't walk in the ways of these heathens, man. Don't follow after their traditions, whether it be Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's. Now you don't follow into their traditions, and now their traditions, and now you stuck out there wherever you went because you didn't want to take heed. So now you got to find another way to get back home or wherever you need to be at because you stuck in that city because you wanted to go visit a relative or whatever because of the holidays. Now you stuck for who knows how long. Maybe a few hours, maybe a couple of days, maybe a few weeks. So let me read this again. It says, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For there shall be great tribulations, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, and you heard the one guy say they don't see this thing ending anytime soon. This pandemic, they don't see it ending anytime soon. So don't look for these days to be shortened. If it's up to them, they'll push this thing all the way to the end of time, man. Then you can remember they started off just a couple of weeks, and we need to get the curve down. Then just put on masks. Now it's where we at right now. So it reads, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. And it won't be. Because they don't have no real expectation of going back to what it was before. That's the trick bag. They getting you to believe that. They getting you in these cities. They putting you in these cities. They letting you go and have your time, your fun. They're going to let you have all your fun right now. Because once that comes into place, you're going to be pretty much stuck where you at. And it says what? There should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So they ain't going to be able to finish their whole agenda, but they're going to get enough. They're going to get enough souls to where they can get some. They're going to get enough people. Put it that way. And they're going to get enough, man, because a lot of people like to visit their family around this time of year. Holidays, they like to go out and observe or enjoy the New Year's, thinking everything is all good. It was just Halloween this past Sunday. So I'm going to read it again, and then we're going to, close it out from there. I'm going to read it from the top. It says, St.Matthew24:20, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. I just wanted to give you something to think about. So if you haven't made those plans, or if you already made those plans, you might want to reconsider and think about that so you don't get caught. So I'm going to close it out with 1 Peter, and we're going to take it from there. This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And if you're not up on this and you get caught at the last minute and you think you can scramble to get out of that city, and trust and believe, certain cities are really forcing this. Mostly the Dems, as opposed to the Republican cities. They are more so trying to fight back, taking it to the extreme, to the highest court. But the Dem cities, man, if you in one of those cities for these for these holidays, for this holiday season, you could be stuck up the creek without a paddle. So it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And if you don't see what's coming and you ain't in this word to know what time you in, hey, it is what it is. You'll find out one way or another. So I'm going to say what I said. Hopefully, this reaches whoever it needs to reach, and it gets to that individual or whatever, and you make an informed decision. And with that being said, Shalom.